What is up, my guys? What is happening? Hello from Cebu, Philippines. This is my final weekend here in Cebu and the Philippines as well. And it's officially time to go back home to Thailand. I've had a great time here in the Philippines, but to be honest, I'm excited to go back to Thailand, finally. What's up, guys? Just gonna say hello to everybody that's currently in the chat. Thank you for being here during the live stream. If you're watching this on catch up on the replay version, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the replay as well. Make sure to turn on your post notifications by clicking on the bell icon and turning on notifications. Then you'll know when I go live, and you'll get the notification, and you can come chat with me actually live. What is up? What's up, Dion? Ace of Spades. Hello, hello. Tea sipped slowly. Tim is in the house. Anthony. Anthony's in the Philippines as well. Where are you at, Anthony? I'm about to wrap up my month-long visit here to the Philippines. It's been good. I've really enjoyed it. You know, the Philippines is kind of like one of those countries. It's like an acquired taste. It's like drinking like an IPA beer. You have to visit it multiple times, and eventually you do enjoy the country. Oh, Anthony's in Manila. Nice, man. I was just there in Makati. Uh, but yeah. King says, "Do you have time to feature my modified Honda Empatia?" Very cool, man. I hope to see you at the Cars on Flight car show at Terminal 21 Mall. Where's everybody at? Where you guys at? I see we got somebody in here from Ireland. Man, Sydney is in the house. I hope this is a good time to do a live stream. Like I said in a previous live stream, I try to do them around 9 to 10 a.m. or 9 to 10 p.m. I kind of got the vibe that those are kind of the best times to get most people on live. Bad Q Garage, what is up? Man, it's always a good event. The Cars on Flight event is always good, but it is just so brutally hot. I mean, that is like literally my title for my video of that event last year was the hottest car show in Thailand because it is brutal, dude. It is brutal. It is brutal. DJ was asking how much I paid for my Yamaha X Max. I think it was around 150,000 baht, and it had 9,000 kilometers on it. It was used, but it only had 9,000 kilometers on it, and then it was heavily customized. I think a brand new one runs like 180, I think, but then mine had the coilovers and the exhaust and the seat and just it was painted Lamborghini gray, wheels powder coated, all that other stuff that I would do anyway, and it was already done. And I was able to buy it, so I bought it. Love my X Max, love it. Michigan. Michigan is in the house. Michael says, "How do I get CB Media decals?" I get that question all the time. I need to include that in one of my FAQ videos. CB Media decals. These decals, this is not really a CB Media decal. This is just a CB decal. These things have been in existence for almost 10 years. For many, many years before I started my YouTube channel, I was making these for my Chad B photography thing. And anytime I photographed a car for one of the magazine features, I would give one of the car owners one of these decals. So it was kind of like a badge of honor that I shot your car for a magazine feature if you had a CB decal on it. So it's pretty cool. How do you get one? It's very easy. You walk up to me and go, "Hey, Chad, can I have a CB decal?" And a lot of times I have one in my pocket and I'll give you one. That's how you get a CB decal. There you go. Bad Q Garage. Exactly. How did you get your CB decal, Bad Q Garage? I gave it to you. I don't sell them. And those decals are all around the world. They're in Japan, they're in Dubai. I mean, I put them in random places literally all around the world. Like I get tagged on Instagram nonstop. Somebody's taking a piss in a bathroom at a bar in Saigon, Vietnam, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's a CB decal." Yep. Alex says he likes my flower sheets. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm in an Airbnb, bro. Airbnb-ing it up because I'm currently homeless. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it does suck about the whole boat thing, but there you go. See, somebody said they saw a CB decal at Road Atlanta the other day. Yeah, the ones that are Road Atlanta have been there for many, many years because Road Atlanta is like 30 minutes from where I lived, and I would be at Road Atlanta photographing cars at Road Atlanta at least 1 to 2 weekends of the month, 12 months a year. Like the amount of time I've spent at Road Atlanta is insane. I've driven Road Atlanta multiple times myself, but most of the time that I've spent there has been trackside with the camera in my hand photographing cars. Yeah. Craig, I do still plan to take cream pie to pie. I think that is officially going to happen the end of this year. I'm working on a major deal for that car to get some insanely expensive, very, very baller suspension for that car. I'm talking about the suspension that I'm looking to get for cream pie costs more than an E30 coupe. Like literally you can buy an E30 coupe for cheaper than the coilover system that I'm looking to get for my E30 coupe. It's insane. But I'm working out a deal with the company, and I think that's going to be kind of part of that deal, where we do the installation of the coilovers, document the whole thing, and then finally take cream pie to pie. Finally, so we're working on it. Dry fit shirts, where to get them? If you want to get one of my CB Media dry fit shirts, just go to CB Media on YouTube.com. The links in the video description of all my videos, my live streams. But it's simple, CB Media on YouTube.com. Jonathan, yes, I will be there. Jonathan, yes, I will be there with cream pie. With cream pie. But if you want some CB Media apparel, so if you're currently in the chat, this isn't Chad. I sent you a link for a video I made on Patreon. Cool, man. I'll check it out. I haven't been on Patreon today because I've been editing all day. Man, dude, I started editing. Uh, I started editing at like 9, and I just got done at like 9, like an hour ago. I like edited for like 12 hours today to get a video up that's going to go up tomorrow. But someone was asking about CB Media apparel. I'm announcing this design tomorrow, and it's a limited supply. I only made 50 of these shirts, but since you're here in the live chat currently, if you want one, there you go. Boom. So that shirt right there is this. There you go. So this is the design we just got finished doing. Safety Fifth Racing Team, sponsored by CB Media, inspired by the No Good Racing JDM legendary brand. My own twist on it, uh, and this is a design that has been long, long overdue. It's officially being released in a video that I have coming up that I'm going to post tomorrow. But if you're currently in the chat and you want to grab one, go get one. It's very limited supply. I only printed 50 of them, and they will sell out. But yeah, I'll give you guys a quick teaser of what I got going on, what I've been editing today. Man, it's been a lot, guys. Paul Doyle says, I'm wearing my cream pie shirt right now. Nice, man. John, I don't have any long sleeve shirts. I don't have any long sleeve shirts. I have hoodies. But no long sleeve shirts. 129 in the chat. What is up? What is up? Here is some Adobe Premiere action going on here. Some behind the scenes. We are going to offline all that. Offline all. And this should be where I'm at. This is what my workflow looks like, guys. So this is what a CB Media video looks like on the timeline. As far as all my editing and stuff goes. And this is what I've been doing today. I started today at 9 a.m. and literally stopped an hour ago.
Hello from Bangkok Drag Avenue. I'm here today for an emergency vehicle drag race event. We're talking about ambulances, tow trucks, and other types of emergency vehicles, plus a bunch of custom vans doing quarter-mile drag racing here in Bangkok, Thailand.
Check this out. Watch this guy when he launches. Look at his door. He launched so hard his door came open. Amazing.
I want you to tell me what wheel.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with my edits currently. Is my chat still going? Zip, I went to Manila. I went to Manila and I was planning on attending a car event at Carrera Cafe where Angie Mead was debuting a Nissan Z car, new Nissan Z. And I got there and I ate some chicken wings that tasted funny, and I ended up getting sick. And I spent like 4 days in my hotel, and then I turned around and came back to Cebu. It was a giant waste of money and time. I got there and I was supposed to go to Carrera Cafe for a car event, and I was also supposed to go out and party with some friends for Cinco de Mayo, but nope. T-Slip slowly. You were on it, bro. On it. Yeah, so that video, I just uploaded it, but it's not actually live yet. But it will go live probably tomorrow, I think. I need to go back and rewatch it and make sure I didn't screw anything up. It's so funny. I'll notice so many YouTubers, they'll like upload a video and they don't like watch it multiple times to make sure they didn't make any mistakes. And they end up having to delete the video because there's like an audio issue or something like that. I watch my videos till I'm absolutely sick of them and I hate them. And I'm like, I don't ever want to see this video again because I've watched it so many damn times. Jimmy said, do you prefer Premiere over other editing software such as DaVinci? You know, I've been using Photoshop for like 10 years. And when I started learning video editing, it was maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. And it was just natural for me to go to from Photoshop to Adobe Premiere because a lot of the tools and stuff were the same. But, you know, back then you had DaVinci, you had Final Cut Pro, and you had Adobe Premiere. and I'm just used to Adobe Premiere. Honestly, most of what I do, as far as video editing and stuff, could be done like CapCut Pro or many other. There's so many different options for video editing out there these days. If you're just starting, especially if you just plan on doing YouTube, you know, DaVinci, Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, it's probably not the best move. There's other options out there that are more simple and that have a much smaller learning curve to them. But me, I've used Premiere for so long. I've spent the amount of my life that I've spent staring at Adobe Premiere is borderline depressing. But I'm so used to it that it just doesn't make sense for me to switch to something that's more simple, because I'm already just so used to Adobe Premiere. I can't hire anyone in Thailand to edit a video for 500 baht. Thai people don't speak Thai people don't speak English well enough to edit these type of videos. There's no way. Now you can possibly, not possibly, you can for a fact hire a Filipino video editor for very cheap. But regardless, they will never edit a video like how I edit a video. Here's the problem. To edit a good YouTube video, being a good video editor is only a very small percentage of the skill set you need to edit a video for YouTube. Being a video editor is you would actually be better off having a person that understands analytics and like data, and then have them edit the video, because it's actually more important the way you structure the video than the editing itself, if that makes sense. So somebody's just like, I'm a good video editor. That doesn't mean you can put together a good YouTube video, because you're just going to take clips A to Z and put them in line, and it's just a natural, it's a realistic flow of that content. But a lot of times the content has to be moved around to keep the audience engaged and to build hooks and a storyline and all this type of stuff, which a video editor, they just put clips together. That's it. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, CapCut Pro is great, man. Alexander says, yep, happens to Harold Balder often after he got the Osmo Pocket 3, but he's too big to give a freak. I don't watch Harold Balder's videos that much anymore, but I did see he got the the Osmo Pro. I mean, it's a great camera. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. You probably had a separate conversation going on there, but it's a great camera. I've thought about buying one, but my iPhone does. I mean, 15 Pro Max does such a fantastic job. And for me, filming, especially motorsports content, I need to be able to switch to multiple lenses instantly. Like if I was just if you only vlog with like a wide angle lens, then that's fine. But me, I switch to a zoom lens. I need to vlog and then instantly switch to a zoom lens to capture like B-roll and action shots. $164 in the chat. What is up, guys? So the big news is I am coming back to the Philippines a lot sooner than I thought. So yeah, so the big news is I'm going to quickly tell you guys a little bit about my background, and this moves into YouTube and my very first sponsorship. If you were here during the motorbike tour videos, my very first sponsor, the first sponsor I had on the CB Media YouTube channel, sponsored a motorbike tour, a complete motorbike tour. It was the Golden Triangle Motorbike Tour. My first motorbike tour, my first sponsorship, and it was a really big deal. That sponsor was Jzilla Track Days. So Jzilla Track Days is ran by my friend James. James is actually Filipino, but he's American. He's American, but he's Filipino nationality, and he runs a HPDE track day organization based out of Atlanta that goes all around, not just the southeast, but they also do like very bespoke, high end tours over to Europe to drive like Spa and all these crazy tracks. Anyway, when they first started their organization, I got on board as their official track day photographer. What this means is anytime they had a track event, they would give me the email list of every driver who was taking their Porsche GT3 or their Corvette or their Miata or their Z car or whatever out, and I would email their entire list of drivers and go, hey, what's up? My name's Chad. I run Chad B Photography. I'm a professional automotive and motorsports photographer. Here are some of my sample track photos. If you would like to purchase a photo package, I charge $75 and you got around 10 to 15 shots of you on track, professional photos on track. And I worked with Jzilla Track Days for years doing this gig. For years. At least I would say 8 to 10 events per year. I was at every event they had. I was their exclusive track photographer. And once I left, once I said, hey guys, I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm moving to Thailand. I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going all in, balls deep. Let's do this thing. And they were like, holy crap. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do without you? We have to find another photographer, this and that, whatever. Neven, thank you for the super chat, bro. 25 bucks. That's awesome, man. Neven says, I love your content. I've been a subscriber for a few years, have a few Sunset beers. Unfortunately, I can't join you for one currently. Neven, I appreciate it, dude. That's going to buy me a few beers later tonight. It is Saturday night here in Cebu. I'm hanging out with you guys for an hour or so, and then I'm headed out. Probably go watch a live band or something. But anyway, so I left to come to Thailand. And once I was here, and I started my YouTube channel, James from Jzilla Track Days reached out and goes, hey man, I have a marketing budget. I want to sponsor like a video series, or I want to do something for you to help boost your channel. And essentially James from Jzilla Track Days gave me the money, the funds under sponsorship to fly to Chiang Mai, rent my motorbike, pay for all my hotels, pay for my food and beer, and put a little bit of money in my pocket and do a 5-video series traveling around northern Thailand and doing the Golden Triangle motorbike tour. That was the very first motorbike tour series that I ever did. And honestly, at that point, I only had maybe like 5,000 or 8,000 subscribers. And there's no way my YouTube videos at that point would have been able to fund that trip. There's no way. I was making no money. I was making, a couple $100s a month. And James stepped up and sponsored me. Now, this is coming full circle. One of the drivers from Jzilla Track Days, who is also Filipino American. He's Filipino by nationality, but he's from Florida. He's a Florida man. Like, he's never been to the Philippines, ever. And this guy started driving with Jzilla Track Days and progressed to the point over the past 6-7 years where he is now a professional race car driver. He races wheel-to-wheel racing. And somehow, this guy has got a gig where he is coming to the Philippines to go to Clark International Raceway, and he has a car that somebody's going to give him, and he's going to compete in a legit wheel-to-wheel race series at Clark International Raceway in Pampanga, Angeles City, Philippines. The guy is Filipino. He's never been to the Philippines in his life. He has no idea what the hell's... I know more about the Philippines than he does. And Jzilla Track Days, once again, is going to be sponsoring me to bring me to the Philippines to go make a video about this guy's experience, a Filipino, coming to the Philippines for the first time to go to Clark to compete in a circuit race. It's so exciting. It's such a cool story because it's like everything comes full circle. And I'm very, very excited about it. I'm very stoked about it. Yeah, I'm just really, really excited. So I was going to go back to Thailand and spend a month in Thailand. Things have changed. I'm going back to Thailand. I'll be there for 3 weeks and then back to the Philippines. So, and then from the Philippines, probably go to Poland from there. So, Jimmy said, Nevin just paid for Chad's night out. Pretty close to it, bro. Pretty close to it. Yeah, that'll a few drinks. Then 100% that'll get me a few drinks this evening. Yeah, Paul, I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited. Yeah, it's totally full circle. Totally full circle. It's very, very cool. And the guy that's competing in the race, the race event, like some of the photos that I took of him driving are some of the photos that really put him on the map that he used for marketing. So it's super cool. Oscar, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Nico, I'm not sure where Tim is. I think Tim's on a motorbike tour. I think Tim's doing a motorbike tour or something. I talk to Tim occasionally because I met Tim when Tim came to Bangkok right before the situation. So he was visiting Bangkok. When I met Tim, I had like, man, maybe like 10,000 subscribers. I had like 10,000 subscribers. Yeah. Jaden said, what do you think about the drag diesel scene here in the Philippines? I have not attended a drag race event here in the Philippines. I want to. I think most of the events happen up at Clark International Raceway. I think that's where they do most of the drag racing. To be honest, I really don't like Angeles City. They say it's the Pattaya of the Philippines. It's like, well, nightlife is and the girly bars and that type of stuff. I didn't enjoy it. I was there. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was dirty. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy my time there. So I really don't go. When I'm in the Philippines, I spend most of my time in Manila. I like Cebu now, and I want to go do some islands. But yeah, my one experience I had up in Pampanga, Angeles, I really didn't like it too much. I think that's where most of the drag racing is. Okay, so guys, check this out. I've said before, if you are on the CB Media Patreon, which if you're one of my hardcore supporters, 100% you should be on my Patreon. We do members only live streams. Do a monthly car event calendar for Southeast Asia. I post on there almost every day. I check my messages on there every single day and just talk with everybody. And I've said if any of my guys on Patreon have a particular video that they want me to see, that say, you got to see this video, it's super cool, to DM me on Patreon, send it to me, and I'll check it out. And one of my guys on Patreon told me to check out this video. It's something to do with people in New York driving like total maniacs. And this video has gone super viral. I have no idea how I haven't seen it yet. I didn't even know this video was a thing. But it is apparently it's a pretty big deal.
Easy, Tiger, easy.
So we're gonna check this video out. Because like I said, one of my guys on my Patreon recommended this to me. So this is called The Most Wanted Drivers in New York. It's been up for a month and it has 7.5 million views in a month. And yeah, it's from this guy called Tommy G. He's got 1.7 million subscribers. What does this guy do? Is he a car channel? No, he's not a car channel at all. This is the video right here. The most wanted drivers in New York 1 month ago, 7.5 million views. But he is definitely not a car channel. But one of my guys on Patreon told me that I really, really need to check this out. Dwayne Banks. Are you in the house, Dwayne Banks? Dwayne Banks is officially the first person to purchase a Safety Fifth Racing Team t-shirt. Dwayne Banks, you were the first one to buy one. Ever. Nice, Dwayne. Okay, let's check this out. As requested by one of my Patreon members. Again, if you want to support what I do, check the links in the video description and become a member of my Patreon. You get a bunch of extra perks. You're part of like the inner crew. So let's check this out.
Easy, easy, easy. Come on. Hey. How many police chases do you think you've been in?
30, I think.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how wanted would you say you are?
Probably a 10. Nobody's more wanted than me.
I wasn't lying when I said these guys are wanted.
What is this? So what are these guys doing? What's their deal?
Hello folks, I'm Tommy G. I'm here with the most wanted drivers in New York.
Hey, I'm Squeeze Benz.
Dude's name is Squeeze Benz. But he's in a Urus. Okay.
Swim team, you already know what's going on. I love NYPD. Swim team, the dream team.
So buckle up folks, this is gonna be a wild ride. One day in the safety of my home in Milwaukee, I started to get bombarded by DMs imploring me to explore these two drivers named Squeeze Benz and Where's 981. When I looked at their pages, their driving shocked me. I would describe their videos as daring, dangerous, and reckless. I'm fascinated by the human desire to push limits and go against the grain. I'm fascinated by the daredevils and outlaws of the world. Young men in particular love to do this in a variety of ways. Evel Knievel shot himself out of a cannon, Philip Petit tightrope walked across the Twin Towers, Alex Honnold climbed up cliffs without a rope, and fighter Darren Till cut weight until he went blind. The question that comes to mind when you look at this behavior is what compels someone to push themselves to such lengths and risk injury or death. In today's video, we investigate this daredevil behavior in the form of reckless drivers who are causing outrage and fascination across New York.
Police tried to pull over a car on West 38th Street and 7th Avenue. The driver sped off, slamming into cars, driving on the sidewalk, and even hitting a dining shed.
But there's a twist in the story.
People in America, not just America, but I'm just saying this because I'm American, have lost their minds, bro. They legitimately have lost their minds. I feel like there's absolutely just zero regard for like human safety or laws or anything these days. Like, if you drove like that here, you would have severe consequences.
Because these guys don't just risk their own necks in the stunts, they also risk the lives of innocent pedestrians and the law enforcement that chases them. These guys regularly go on police chases and evade police helicopters. Today, we interview them face to face.
But this type of driving style reminds me of Malaysia. I will forever hold a grudge against Malaysia because of their drivers. This is what people drive like in Malaysia.
And talk morality, ethics, danger, and their motivation for their behavior. Let's dive in and go boots on the ground. This documentary is purely for educational purposes. We want to stress that the behavior depicted in this video is dangerous, illegal, and should never be imitated. And remember, it only takes one bad crash to ruin your life or someone else's. Please drive responsibly. Thank you.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm innocent by no means. I've driven like I drive aggressively as well, but I do it in.
We wanted to know
There's a
how
time
everyday
and
people
place
felt
for
about
that
this
type
kind
of
of driving.
activity,
We
you
had
know
some
what I'm
extra
saying?
time to kill at the New York airport, so I went around showing people videos of Squeeze Benz and Where's 981 driving. Here's what they had to say about it. What do you think of that?
It's just dangerous. I think if the police go after them, it's a bit dangerous. Puts everyone else at risk.
He's probably going 120, 130 right now. See how there's some close calls?
I feel like he thinks he's in a video game.
Yeah.
That stuff pisses me off. So I got kids that are on those roads too. When
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
against one of my kids, he'll say, I don't know what happened.
So here's the thing. You know, one of the great things about Thailand is Thailand, we have speed limits. We have speed limits. But so here's the thing about Thailand is even though we have speed limits, nobody obeys them. And the fine for exceeding the speed limit in Thailand, first of all, in 7 years, I've never once seen a single person get pulled over. Ever. Like they don't, a police officer doesn't come up behind you and turn on his lights and pull you over. It just, I've never seen it happen in like 7 years. But there are certain areas of like the tollway and the highway where they have speed cameras. But if you get caught speeding, it's a 500 baht fine, aka 15 US dollars. And it's a flat fee. It doesn't matter if you're 1 kilometer over or 100 kilometers over. It's a flat fee of 500 baht, aka 15 US dollars. There's no points on your license. It doesn't affect your insurance, nothing. So, I mean, a lot of people do drive like total maniacs. And trust me, I do occasionally break the speed limit. But I never do it in a situation where there's like innocent people around me. Especially in Asia, in a country that's not yours. Man, no way, dude. Like, if you were to hit someone, you being a foreigner in a country in Southeast Asia, man, dude, it would get, it could possibly get really bad. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm just now trying to get caught up with the chat, guys. Justine Play says there's a big car show. Yes, the transport show in Manila, May 23rd to 26th. I will be back in Thailand then, but I mentioned this on my previous stream. If you are in the Philippines, make sure to go to Manila, May 23rd to 26th. The transport show is going to be it's going to be a good event. One of the best events in the Philippines as far as car shows go.
I could tell this guy a million times, hey, you're going to kill somebody on the road. He's going to do it anyways. What do you think about that?
It makes me mad. I get it. All kids, they're bred to do that, right? But it's irresponsible.
If I told you that this guy's gotten away from not only multiple police, but also helicopters.
I mean, dude's playing with fire.
I believe it. I just feel like it's really selfish. I feel like he should get his license taken away for some period of time and probably have to go through safe driving classes, maybe talk to people who are victims of people that drive like him.
I think it should be commensurate with like attempted manslaughter or something like, I mean, that's in effect, you're putting people at risk intentionally when you go a certain speed over the speed limit.
If you were his mother or father, what would you tell him?
Malaysia.
He's a selfish idiot. One of these days, somebody is gonna get in his way and that person's gonna end up dead, or many people are gonna end up dead.
Man.
And if he ends up dead, that's his consequence for
the
what
risk
he does.
versus reward profile
To have that
on
kind
driving
of
like
it's no
this,
different than
it's not worth
someone
it, man.
who's really drunk getting behind the wheel of a car and driving when they have no control. I mean, your car is actually
it
like
would
a
really
weapon of
suck
mass destruction. It
if
has
you
to
wrecked
be
your
handled
car
with care.
and you hurt yourself.
Worse than being drunk
But I couldn't
and getting behind
imagine
the wheel because you're
wrecking your
actively
car
making the
and
choice
hurting
to
an innocent
put
person.
other people's
I wouldn't
lives
be, I
at
wouldn't
risk.
be able to
The
live with
cheapest
myself.
price that gets paid is not the person driving the car. I mean, someone's going to end up dying, and that'll be that.
That can ruin hundreds of people's lives. Like if a kid in a school were to die, everybody in the school
It's a
would be
ripple
mourning
effect.
for that one person.
Oh yeah, he's tripping. Not safe at all.
If he hits somebody, do you think it should be manslaughter or the first degree?
I say manslaughter because you know what you're doing. Like you're just driving crazy. Like
What would you tell him if you could say something to him?
I'd be like, slow down.
What do you think about driving like this?
Oh, it's terrible. I don't like it.
Like, you better stay away from it.
Yeah.
What should be the penalty if he's caught? Manslaughter or first degree?
I wouldn't tell him to slow
If he
down.
hits somebody,
He just needs to
it's vehicular
go to an area that doesn't have
This guy has
traffic.
the ability to get away from multiple police vehicles and including helicopters.
Right.
So he hasn't been caught. Yesterday, he got away from a helicopter.
Where, in New York or California?
New York.
Wow. What kind of car is he renting?
Lamborghini.
I could see I was out running the cops. I guess we could hope for him hitting a telephone pole.
Oh,
Turn
he
yourself
he
in,
rented
bro.
the
You're
Urus.
a reckless driver and you're going to hurt innocent people.
I got folks taking pics, something like
Where did he rent the Urus from? I would assume the rental Urus is what is that? What is that app where you can rent individual cars? Toro? I assume he's getting it off Toro.
Really getting to the check, but I ain't rocking no horizon. We're on our way to meet Squeeze Benz. Recently, he's been making the news for his high-speed stunts. While some people see his driving as exhilarating or exciting, there's a rising sentiment that this sort of behavior unnecessarily endangers innocent drivers and pedestrians. He sent us the address of a random parking garage and told us to pull up. This is what we encountered. Folks, we're on the way to talk to one of the most wanted drivers in New York, Squeeze Benz. This kid does stuff that makes my butthole pucker up. This guy is reckless. This guy is extreme. This guy drives at a very high speed. I do not drive like this. You shouldn't drive like this, and there's a reason why I'm not getting into their cars while they're driving this fast. It's dangerous, it's reckless, it's scary. Disclaimer, don't do this at home. He's kind of like a high-speed fugitive. I'm always interested in the outlaws of the world, people that live on the edge. Humans, especially.
You know, I like to document unique car culture, stuff that's weird, and like forms of car culture that might be dangerous, but is weird. This is not it. Like, I wouldn't. Love this stuff. Chunky said, are you going to check out the custom Suzuki builders in Cebu? Don't know about them. Didn't know it was a thing. But I have a limited time left here in Cebu. Oh, the custom Suzuki micro van builders in Cebu. The ones that I saw at the B2B car show. They were super cool.
Men are always pushing the limits of danger. But one distinction I want to make is Evel Knievel only harms himself if he fails. The
This
UFC
is my
fighters
point.
are both signing up. They're in mutual combat. But these guys, if something goes wrong, they
This is
harm
my
innocent
point.
civilians. So I want to ask him
my
about
whole
that, but then
point.
ask him about the outlaw, the testing danger piece that lives strongly within them, because I think that's interesting. This is not a product placement. I do not want a partnership with Celsius. I do not drink your drinks every single trip multiple times a day. I don't absolutely love your drink. Guys, if you want to hit me up, please do. I would love to talk to you. Otherwise, I'll probably hit up Prime, and you know how that goes. So we're pulling up to Squeeze Benz.
Dude.
I'm excited.
He said I'll probably hit up Prime. I was in the grocery store, the Metro grocery store here in Cebu yesterday. And get this, it was my first time ever in my life. I walked down an aisle, I looked over, there was a line of Prime bottles. It was the first time I ever physically set eyes on a bottle of Prime. Because we don't have Prime in Thailand. I've never been to a country that sells Prime. I was like, oh, it's Prime. I didn't buy any.
I hope you are too. You know, high speed must be an issue around here if they have a Mustang NYPD car that's got some zip to it.
That's not a
RIP
Mustang.
Mainstream Media. It's been a great run. Kudos to you. I'm
You see
excited.
that?
I hope you are too.
See what he said?
You know, high speed must be an issue around here if they have a Mustang. Every single trip, multiple times a day. I don't absolutely love your drink. Guys, if you want to hit me up, please do.
He
I would love
said-
to talk to you. Otherwise, I'll probably hit up Prime, and you know how that goes. So we're pulling up to meet Squeeze Benz. I'm excited. I hope you are too. You know, high speed must.
He said high speed must be a thing here because they have a Mustang NYPD car. That's not a Mustang. I know there's a Mustang badge on the grill. That is not a Mustang.
Must be an issue around here if they have a Mustang NYPD car that's got some zip to it. RIP Mainstream Media. It's been a great run. Kudos to you for lasting as long as you have. But it's it. I mean, you're finished. It's sorry. In honor of that,
I like that
RIP
hoodie.
Mainstream Media.
I like that hoodie.
TommyGMcGee.com.
Oh, nice.
God, dude. What the f is this, Batman, dude? On a scale of 1 to 10, how wanted would you say you are?
Probably a 10. Nobody's more wanted than me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It started like about a year ago. I got my first Benz, and I always did like little driving videos, and I never really took it to nothing. And then my boy started saying like, you know, mad people are blowing up off this, and I was just like, you know, that's just how it started.
I'm curious, like you have a Lamborghini, at one point a Mercedes-Benz. I'm sure you go through a lot of different cars. Are you going on tour and just driving people's cars all crazy? You guys getting your own cars? Like, tell me about that.
I had my own car for a bit, but then I changed it up because I did get chased a lot. So I just realized, like, you know, doing long-term rentals is just a way better route. And then obviously I don't tell these guys I'm Squeeze Benz.
Did you ever get blown up by the tour people asking what the hell happened?
They do ask, and then like I kind of just like, you know, just driving the car, you know what I mean?
You mix
Oh,
danger, but
man.
there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element?
It's a good point that he made. If he did this with his own car, his car would get known. You know what I'm saying? They would know this guy, this idiot, always drives a red M3 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he has to switch his cars to keep from being caught, essentially.
Of danger for that.
I've been doing this since like real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long now that I feel like I gotta have some professional at it. Like, you know, niggas know like that's how I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they try keeping up with me and they've crashed.
How fast do you go?
I mean, there's been a video on live where I've gone one-handed 210 miles an hour.
Filming with one hand, driving with the other, 210 miles an hour.
Yes.
That's insane. Did that scare you?
Not really, just to build up a tolerance of just...
Has anybody else been 200 miles per hour on the street? Have you been 200 miles per hour on the street? If so, raise your hand. I've been 200 miles per hour on the street. But I was sitting shotgun in a 2,000 wheel horsepower twin turbo Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera. Underground Racing built engine, built transmission, 2 giant turbos, C16, 2,000 wheel horsepower in Texas. It was wild. We went out with a group of very, very high horsepower cars at TX2K, twin turbo Vipers, turbo Corvettes, turbo Hayabusas, Lambos, built motor, big turbo GTRs. I think probably like the least, like the lowest amount of horsepower in a group of like 20 something cars was like 1,500 wheel horsepower. And I was in sitting in my buddy's twin turbo Superleggera Gallardo, made 2,000 wheel, and we went 200 on the street in that. Yeah.
Speed.
Do you feel like the police watch your Instagram?
100%, they do.
Let's pop in the car and keep the conversation going.
See, this is crazy. They were like, do you think the police watch your Instagram? He was like, 100% they do. Like, this is just like a game of like cat and mouse type of deal. And it's like, if he's just making Instagram videos, is the reward worth the risk? Really? Like you can't really monetize Instagram that well, other than obtaining sponsorships. But who's gonna sponsor this dude? You think NordVPN or Insta360 or BetterHelp, or who's gonna sponsor this guy? Like, how much money can he be making doing these videos? I don't get it. George said he drove 270 kilometers on the Autobahn. Yeah, what is 200 miles per hour in kilometers? It's got to be 300? Yeah, 300.
Okay.
Man,
How
dude,
many people normally?
I would not want to get in the car with this guy.
That's okay.
Especially because he knows how big this guy's YouTube channel is. He's gonna drive like a wild man.
Have gotten really hurt or died doing this?
My boy, he was racing and he macked up and he hit his head and his
320.
head split open a little bit.
Cool, yeah.
Stitches, but like other than that, nothing's ever happened.
Tell me about the camera system in New York. How hard is it to evade capture or awareness of the police?
Super easy. A lot of people like they be doing crimes with their plates on. Like, I mean, if I go and run from a cops, I'm gonna make sure I either have altered plates or no plates at all.
New York City is
Man,
home to
this
one of the
poor
most
camera
advanced
guy.
camera surveillance networks on the planet.
Crimes with their plates on. Like, I mean, if I go and run from a cops, I'm gonna make sure I either have altered plates.
You see that
or
guy?
No plates at all.
New York City.
That poor camera guy. This guy back here with the camera. Listen, this Tommy guy, he's got 1.7 million subscribers. He's making a lot of money. This camera dude, this camera dude's like, we're shooting what? I have to film what? For like $200. You're getting paid like $200 to get in the back seat of a Urus with this idiot. Man,
like, I mean, if I go and run from the cops, I'm gonna make sure I either have altered plates or no plates at all.
New York City is home to one of the most advanced camera surveillance networks on the planet. An Amnesty International project identified that there are more than 25,000 public and private cameras at traffic intersections across the city. This camera technology can capture faces and other details from up to 400 feet away. This infrastructure isn't cheap either. This camera technology, combined with cell phone tracking tools, spyware, and facial recognition, racked up nearly $3 billion in expenditures from the NYPD from 2007 to 2019. When street racers run rampant in the city, it's easy for governments to make the argument to increase the surveillance.
Do you hear what he said?
Nearly $3 billion in expenditures from the NYPD from 2007 to 2019. When street racers run rampant in the city, it's
when street racers run rampant in the city. This is not street racing, okay? I'm an OG, old school street racer. This is not street racing. This is driving like a total just dumbass. This is not street racing.
Easy for governments to make the argument to increase the surveillance in order to shut down this reckless and deadly behavior. However, this same technology can also be used to capture the profiles of millions of civilians on a daily basis, something that is currently happening in China and that many Americans are afraid of. As technology such as AI facial recognition and high-def cameras increase in quality, this is a challenge we are going to have to wrestle with to ensure the very tech that can help keep us safe also doesn't grow too powerful to infringe upon our freedoms. What are the different penalties for if you got caught doing what we were doing?
Jail time. I'm running red lights. I'm doing more than triple the speed limit, double the speed limit. This is a lot of tickets to it.
You did a video in Times Square recently, right?
Yeah.
I gotta send it back for all my insecurities. Maybe like some work will probably clean it back. Maybe Mickey Thompson's line locked when he's like.
It only takes one mistake to permanently change or destroy somebody's life.
I do understand that. It's just like we were also like
Beam Rider, exactly. Beam Rider said doing this in the city, with the amount of hazards there, it's just stupid. You have pedestrians, you have dogs, you have
o'clock in the morning, you seen in the video, like I stopped, looked around, made sure there was nobody, and started doing donuts. And then when I was running the red lights, I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key bugging. I low-key know how to run red lights. I've been chased by night cops to the point where I could blow the red lights doing 60, 70. No, I'm not gonna
60, 70, dude. What is your strategy in getting away from police?
Hopping on the highway. These cops, like, they're not really built for that. It's a lot of real rookie cops now. It's a bunch of rookie cops, and these guys do not know how to drive on the highway.
Let's talk about how drivers like Ben's can evade detection for so long. They do so by altering or covering up their license plate so the car cannot be tracked by police or the traffic cameras. Cars with his
You see that cop car? It was a 300C.
modification had been nicknamed Ghost Cars. Last month, a joint task force was launched between New York governors Kathy Hochul and nicknamed Ghost Cars.
Look at that. You see the STI? What does it say on the back window? Japanese muscle? And the license plate frame says Grim Speed.
Last month, a joint task force was launched between New York governors Kathy Hochul, New York Mayor Eric Adams, the NYPD, and the MTA to crack down on the issue of ghost cars. In their first day alone, they impounded 73 cars, issued 282 court summons, and made 8 arrests. And I noticed the same thing back home in Milwaukee. The guys running through the red lights, driving the stolen cars, and driving aggressively, most of them do not have license plates. What's the longest police chase you've been in?
30 minutes, 20 minutes.
That's a pretty long chase. How many guys do you think were chasing you at once?
I had to do like 3, 4, but the main thing was the helicopter. That was really hard to get away from. How could you get away? Luckily, it was late night. I was in the Porsche, and that shit does 210 miles an hour. So I just hopped in the highway. You know what I mean? The helicopter can only go so fast.
You go faster than the helicopter?
Yeah, they only like top out like 150, 140.
You crash into somebody, they get paralyzed, they die. Do you think you deserve to go to prison?
Yes. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be put into prison for life. If I kill somebody, that's somebody's life. Like, that's somebody's mother, brother, cousin, whatever the case is. If somebody crashed into my mom in her car and they killed her, I'd want them to go to jail. You know what I mean? Maybe not for life, but just enough to get it in their head, like, you know?
What makes taking these risks worth it for you?
Exactly.
They're not really risk to me, that's the thing. I don't really see them as risk. I see them as,
dude,
like,
eventually guy will run out of talent.
You said you've been driving since you were 9 years old?
My dad used to give me his car. You know, I used to sit on his lap when I was like 7. He used to give me the steering wheel, that, and then, you know, I hit 9. He used to send me, yo, go to AutoZone real quick. I used to go to AutoZone, Home Depot, whatever the cases. At 13, I used to start picking up my boys, and that's when I started really, like, you know, cutting up.
Oh my What the fuck? Okay, easy, Tiger. Easy, 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 easy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. No more, no more.
Ooh, that motherfucking made me.
Imagine me doing that.
At 100?
Yeah, that's really nothing.
How many police chases do you think you've been in?
More in my hand. There's been so many times where like the boys just get behind us and they start chasing. Or like it's not really chases to us. You know, they back off.
Do you think you're the most wanted driver in New York?
Between me and Where's 981, like we're
Isn't in the US, isn't there a thing now, a law, there's like a no chase law? Isn't that correct? Like, I thought like if you ran from the cops, they weren't allowed to chase you anymore because it put like the public in danger. Is that not true? Am I wrong there?
Where's 981 low-key died down, I feel like I've taken over that spot, so yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of young men that watch your content. What do you think about kids that want to go try and replicate this, copy this?
From Squeeze Benz himself, do not come try this.
This is something that you could get paralyzed, you could die. I don't drive like this, you shouldn't. Some people in this game take lots of risks, and Squeeze is one of those guys, but highly advise never to do this. How sophisticated is the camera system?
Bot basher, exactly.
It's getting
Luck
more
always runs out.
sophisticated now
So does
to where,
talent.
like, you know, take them probably 2-3 days to.
You know, just because you're a very talented driver, it doesn't mean that something isn't going to happen. It's just like people always say about riding motorcycles. It's not if you're going to go down, it's when you're going to go down. And it's not if this guy crashes, it's when he crashes. And hopefully it's not a situation where he doesn't kill a kid or anyone, you know? Bot Batcher says some don't allow chases anymore. Okay. George says, I think it depends on what state you live in. So obviously New York has a chase law where they are allowed to chase them, because he said he ran from cops for 30-40 minutes at one point.
Really find where he was at, you know what I mean?
How do you stash your vehicle so that the police don't trace you to your house?
I pay for a garage, I have other parking garages where I park my car.
So just like a drug dealer has trap houses, you have different...
I have trap houses, yeah.
We go, are you nervous at all?
I'm fucking nervous.
Yeah, dude, the camera guy, man, the poor camera guy. This Tommy G guy knows he's gonna make tens of thousands of dollars.
Bro, you know, he was about to get out of his vehicle.
7.5 million views. He's probably made $100,000 off this video. The camera guy made 200 bucks.
Let's talk about brain development in young men. The male brain does not fully mature until about 25, so their prefrontal cortex that assesses risk is not fully developed yet, which helps to explain the risky behavior we see in this segment of the population. There's a name for this: young male syndrome. This sometimes short-sighted behavior is hypothesized to have provided an evolutionary advantage. A 2001 University of Liverpool study found that females prefer brave males who take risks to the ones that do not. And if we go back thousands of years to being hunter-gatherers on the savannah, this preference makes sense, as a female would want the male that fends off the lion or stands to fight when another rival tribe approaches. Biologically, not much has changed in our brains then, but our technology has progressed much further.
I've taken a lot of big
risks. It helps to explain why you see young men doing high-speed chases and drifting through Times Square.
What's the craziest
getaway story you have?
That'd be the one with the helicopter. I pulled up on the highway showing the truck, he was about to pull someone over, so I got behind him, I started playing with him, and I was recording. I got away, obviously. A week later, I started getting chased by 2-3 black Chargers. I'm looking up, and I see the helicopter above me, and I'm like, oh nah. It was only like my second ever helicopter chase, so my heart was bumping. I'm not knowing how hard these guys are gonna go for me right now. They're gonna set a roadblock up, something, you know what I mean? But thank God that wasn't the case.
Like a spike strip.
That's never happened to me. I don't need to give these niggas advice, but like, I don't know why don't use spike strips.
Is it hard for you not to be going fast right now?
Honestly, yeah. If New York really wanted to step their game up, they should put a place where people can do this and have fun in a safe environment.
It's called a drag strip or circuit track. Does New York not have drag strips or circuit tracks? He was like, if New York really wanted to step their game up, they should have a place for us to drive like this.
There were 6 million car crashes, and 39,500 of them were fatal. A survey by the insurance company Nationwide found that 47% of Gen Z reported driving faster than the speed limit, and 34% of them
Australia uses a Subaru STI.
Actions like this help contribute to car crashes being the leading cause of death for American teenagers. Another concerning fact is the amount of pedestrians killed by reckless driving. In 2022, there were 7,500 deaths in this manner. In New York, vehicular manslaughter is a felony that carries a steep sentence of up to 15 years. We took 2 Polaroids, they're fresh off the press, still developing. We're gonna put them in 2 random people that buy merch in the next 48 hours. 2 people will get Squeeze Benz, Tommy G, Polaroid photos. RIP mainstream media, big dogs gotta eat. Hope to
Justine Players, correct.
Available on Patreon only are the wild and extended cut versions of
Justine Plays said, "You're not a real driver if you've never crashed or hit someone." Kind of facts, but it's knowing where to do that. So I spent many years of my life as a diehard track guy doing HPDE track events, and you'll never progress as a driver if you don't find where your limits are. But the point of doing it at a track day is so you don't endanger other people or really yourself. I mean, obviously you can still get hurt at a track day, of course, but there's, it's a safe environment. I have spun off the track and ended up stuck in a sand pit multiple times because I pushed my car too hard. So yeah, I mean, you have to find the limits of your driving ability, but you shouldn't do it, on a public road in New York. That's crazy.
Interviews with Squeeze Benz, including one right after he got finished with a helicopter chase, extended cut interview with Swim Team, and more. This is some good shit. Patreon.
Nevin, yeah, unfortunately many tracks in the U.S. are being closed down. Yeah, Atlanta Dragway. My home dragway, Atlanta Dragway, was closed.
We find ourselves in another parking garage meeting with New York driver Where's 981 and his crew, the Swim Team. Swimming refers to the driving technique where they cut up, weaving in and out of traffic to get where they want to go. They've gained a lot of notoriety online, and I wanted to talk to them to learn more about them.
The faster you go and the more dangerous you drive, the more views you get.
Alright guys, you're pulling up to meet the Swim Team. You're one of the groups of the drivers. Why do you guys call yourself Swim Team?
This is how it started. Like, they call me Float. It used to be called Float Apostle. So like, I guess it's like a teacher. I would teach you how to float, and then it just turned into like, we started.
I don't like takeovers.
It was almost like we were swimming through traffic, and they called me like Michael Phelps.
Illegal highway stuff.
How fast do you go sometimes?
I'm hitting 150 every day.
If you're putting other people in danger,
like it's triple digits no matter what.
Because of you driving aggressively, it's not cool.
Have you had any near misses?
I drive fast and I drive aggressive on the streets, but I don't do it in a situation where there's other cars or other people around.
I'm not hurt anybody. It's like shooting a gun in an open field.
I mean, generally my outlook on pretty much everything is do what you want as long as you don't affect other human beings.
Yeah, it's worth it.
That's pretty much my stance on almost everything.
I can't justify it,
What's it like being in a high-speed chase?
Your first time, it feels crazy, bro. Like you're like you're scared to go home some way, somehow. You make it home. You have a little bit of a tough night of sleep that first night, and then you make it to the second night, you make it to the next night, they never come. After that, you get numb to it,
What are the laws in New York for chasing people? Because I know in Milwaukee, oftentimes they don't chase you at a certain speed because they know it results in civilian deaths a lot of times when the chase happens.
It depends on the cop, honestly. I've seen cops where one of my boys, this dude going off-road in New York, and the cops following him off the road. It just takes that one, that one cop that's just ready to be like, alright, I'm coming for you, and it's over.
What does your mom think about this?
I bring my mom to work, she's going 150, she didn't get scared. In her eyes, she knows I'm a good driver. Like, she got mother's prayers, of course, she's gonna always pray for me, make sure everything works out every single time, but she's not too stressed.
You created Swim, right?
I wouldn't say I created Swim, so it started off between me and Bo, right? Floating, swimming, and then we're like, why does that sound kind of nice?
So I'm here with...
So this is essentially like their car club.
Tommy G, allegedly.
They have a car club called the Swim Team. Of course, you drive the big BMW.
Who out of this group is the high-speed specialist?
This nigga right here is like nasty on the track. This nigga right here, he's just nasty on the motor. He can slide, drift, go fast.
Freaking BMW
What's the fastest you guys have ever gone in a car before? 170?
183.
I've been faster on the street than these guys.
To put yourself in that position where you could go to the afterlife if you're not careful.
Rush, man. You're not gonna rush. I'm not driving my car, but I just drive it to have fun, bro. If I die, I die.
FYI, when we did that, it was like 3 a.m. on a totally empty highway in Texas.
It's kind of like you
I-10.
get used to it, slowly, you know, building up like a tolerance to speed. Or if you're watching this and you're a driver, then you know what I mean when you feel the rear wheels through the seat of the car.
You're super in tune and in touch. It's almost like the car is an extension of your body.
You have senses from the seat, the steering wheel, the audio cues, how loud the engine is.
Justine, I don't think I'm buying a car in the Philippines. I don't spend enough time here to buy a car here.
All that sensory input and be able to like drive properly. It's like we're not trying to do.
Yeah, Victor, I said the same. I was thinking the same thing. There's no way in hell any mother is going to get in the car with their son, especially their son that's like a teenager or in their 20s, and allow him to drive 150 miles per hour, taking her to work. There's no way.
If anybody were to seriously get hurt or crash or anything like that, I think it'll end it for everybody. I think we don't stop.
There's a risk.
It'll happen eventually, bro.
Someone could be on their way to work. Someone could be going to pick up their kid from soccer practice. Like, how does that factor in your driving and what you think about when you drive?
I don't have to force nothing. If I get left, I get stuck.
What does that mean when you get left?
If I'm following 91 or I'm following float and they think it's cut I can't take, I'm not taking it. When we swim for each other. We drive for each other. We don't drive for ourselves. I know exactly how each one of them drives and how I drive. So God forbid someone has to hard brake, the cars behind are already braking and looking for openings so we're not rear-ending each other.
Have you guys had any near misses?
Of course.
Bro, this is wild.
Where he took a cut, right after he took the cut, it was either I fit the cut or I'm gone. It's funny saying this, but we're not criminals. We have real-life jobs. We have insurance on our cars. We pay for our cars. Like, people think, oh, it's daddy's money. Like, that should be pissing me off, bro, because I did work hard as for this shit, bro.
Do you guys' moms know about this?
She knows, and she tells me every day to stop. And I tell her, look, I'm trying. We have a brand swim team, right? We're not trying to cut up reckless 24/7, bro. Like, we got a 5M service coming up, a Settle Corsa service coming up, and honestly, like...
Yo, what's up? Yeah, man, I'm much better. I mean, me getting sick ruined my trip to Manila, but I'm good now, dude. I appreciate you asking.
What do you say to the people that are like super pissed when they see what you do? They're like, that's reckless, it's selfish, it's dangerous, people could die. What do you say to those type of folks?
Honestly, bro, you're right. I agree with them, bro. I don't even argue with them. I don't argue with them, bro. I don't argue with them either. When people look at accidents and they see like us cutting up and like racing through traffic, doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff.
Beam Rider, of course, dude. I mean, dude, if you're a car guy and you have a modified high horsepower car or motorcycle, I mean, everybody speeds, you know? Most everybody. Not everybody, but most everybody. But again, don't put other people in danger. That's the main thing. And
Tell me,
in my
what's
opinion.
going through your head in the police chase? How do you get away? What are you thinking about? Are you trying to go a few streets then take an exit? You got a hideout? Like, how do you evade police in this type of situation?
Hold on, don't give out too much sauce. You gotta bring your home.
There's people that might watch what you do and wonder how the police have not caught you yet. What is your answer?
I mean, truly, the way that we don't get caught is to stop being dickheads.
He said, truly, the way not to get caught is to stop being dickheads. Yes. Yes.
At least in swim, I got into the most couch chasing, right? And I'm not saying it's quite like that. I got the worst luck, bro. I mean, honestly, got the worst luck on the point.
I wanted to know what the legal perspective was on what swim team, squeeze bends, and all these other New York drivers were doing. What were the legal ramifications? How much jail time could they face? And why is it that they were so brazen about continually doing this? I talked to my guy Nate the lawyer to figure out more about this. He's a lawyer that runs a YouTube channel and breaks things down regularly. This is what he had to say.
My name is Nate the Lawyer. I'm a former prosecutor and a former law school professor. And what you've just seen on screen is known as reckless driving. In the state of New York, you could serve up to a year in prison if you recklessly drive. Reckless driving in New York is simple. It's if you drive in a manner that, quote, unreasonably interferes with the free and proper use of the public highways or unreasonably endangers users of the public highway. Reckless driving is prohibited. Every person violating this provision shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.
Unreasonably endangers other people.
If someone is injured or killed during the act of reckless driving, you could find yourself facing some serious charges.
Dangerous and disturbing exclusive video of young people driving their cars recklessly just before one of the cars crashed and killed 2 people.
Now, this driver was charged with manslaughter.
So here's the thing. These guys are doing this for clout and followers. And they agreed to do this YouTube documentary with Tommy G because he's got 1.7 million subscribers, again, for clout and followers. But what this is doing is it's putting a bullseye on their forehead. I mean, it's, you know, their end goal of becoming famous by doing this is essentially what's going to be their downfall. It's
slaughter and criminally negligent homicide. He's facing up to 10 years in prison. If you are doing something that you know is inherently dangerous and could get someone killed or hurt, and then you do it anyway, that the law finds to be reckless and criminal in some cases. Driving a car 90 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone is reckless. Someone could get hurt, someone could get killed, and if someone does, then you are on the hook for that homicide. There may be no fear of repercussions because of New York's bail reform laws. The misdemeanor of reckless driving, as you see on the screen, isn't eligible for bail. If someone commits this crime 10 times in the same day, they'll get bail every time because of New York's bail reform laws. Now, some of you may not believe how insane New York's bail reform laws are, but they are insane. Like this guy who was arrested 101 times for shoplifting and let go every time because of New York's bail reform laws. Or this guy who was arrested for 3 assaults in one day, even threw a brick through a store window. He was released every single time on bail reform. Or the story of these 4 people who chopped up 2 bodies, left body parts all around the state of New York, and then when the cops went to their home, they found blood, body parts, guts, everything in their home. Guess what the judge did? He released them without bail. When you put everything together, I think these guys are doing it because they don't really have any fear that they're going to kill anybody. And if they get caught reckless driving, they'll get arrested and charged, but they'll probably be let out the same day on bail reform. Then we can go out and do it again. If you need legal advice, if you're looking to this YouTube video to help you in your case, you're looking at the wrong place. With that being said, I'm Nate the Lawyer and I'm out. Peace.
After hearing what Nate the Lawyer said,
I have been in New York, but the last time I was in New York, I was like,
it makes sense why they're doing it. Back to the swim team.
How often do you guys get nervous doing this?
So when I started, I used to get super nervous, especially when I used to run. And the reason I started running is not because I don't like cops. It's simply because it got to a point where I couldn't afford the tickets anymore. Because I was getting singled out for no reason. The speed limit is 50, right? So I would be on the Bell Parkway and I'm going 70, 75. I'm doing the same speed everyone else is doing. However, when the state trooper sees everyone else and me, they single me out because I'm in a white Porsche. So then they think I can afford the ticket, but in the beginning I could, but then that shit started stacking up. And if you're gonna say, oh, then just don't speed, I wasn't speeding. I was just keeping up with the flow of traffic.
Well, he was speeding, but everybody else was speeding as well.
Because I just couldn't afford the tickets anymore.
But also, the price of tickets, speeding tickets in the US are crazy, dude. Like I said here in Thailand, not here in Thailand, this is Philippines, but in Thailand where I live, it doesn't matter if you're going 1 kilometer over or 100 kilometers over the speed limit. It's a flat fine. It's a flat fee of 500 baht, $15 US. And there's no points on your license or anything like that. But man, in the US, yeah, you get caught speeding. I got in Georgia, where I lived before I moved to Thailand, in my Nismo 370Z, we had a thing called the super speeder, where if you were going, I think it's 20 miles per hour over the limit, is considered a super speeder, and you're fined like triples. I got popped with one of those. Oh man, dude, it was not cheap. It was very expensive.
How many people were after you? 15 cars? Do you guys had to get away from helicopters before?
I never had to. Thanks God, honestly, but I feel like I don't do that situation. Oh yeah, I know what to do.
Has the news reached out to any of you guys?
Oh yeah, of course. Bro, I ain't going front. This is crazy. I'm like AB7. I'm like AB7 News at all. Because they reached out to me about my content and they still posted after I said no. And I don't like that. But yeah, this man was article about us already.
So news reporters have reached out to you guys. They DM you, they email you. Okay, so Ali Bauman from CBS New York.
Yeah, she gave me advice. I was like, no, I just never responded.
What made you say no to her and yes to me?
Honestly, bro, you're not a cop. Yeah, you're not a cop. You're not associated with the law. You don't have an ulterior motive.
This is way worse for them.
You're not gonna try to paint a bad picture.
Like, being on the local news is one thing, but this got 7.5 million views in a month. Dude, the amount of heat that's going to be on them because of this video,
To me, it feels really
this is a
fun
really
to have
dumb
no
mistake.
journalistic background to be beating them at their own game.
And the thing is this only benefits Tommy G.
I feel like people in our generation just
again,
don't
with
trust the news.
7.5 million
They've lied
views,
so many times
he
that
probably
their
made,
credit's gone with us.
you know, he probably made $50,000 to $75,000 off this video. These guys didn't make anything off this video. All they got was
Range
heat.
Rover Sport, I'm on the jacket doing tricks. Keep
But
swimming, got
obviously they're not
powers in
the
ship.
smartest people.
Let's meet the swim
obviously.
team and let's hear their specialties.
Float, swim team. You already know.
And what's your specialty?
My specialty is floating. All I do is float. That's my name. That's what I do. It's everything.
Do you feel like you have to look over your shoulder doing this kind of stuff?
I always look over my shoulder. I'm always not anyone. I would say I'm kind of camera shy, but like my specialty is like I do a little bit of everything. But when it comes to like the you know, the corporate side of things, you know, the brand and stuff, like I'm basically like the brains behind that whole.
Wait, so you're trying to turn this into a video game?
I mean, we already kind of did. It's a game, so it's called Assetto Corsa. So basically, we host servers, and you just gotta take the link, hop on the server, and if any one of us happens to play on the server, you get to drive with swim risk-free.
Whereas 981 and his team are well aware that a lot of his fans are young males that might try and replicate what they do, and knowing that that is incredibly dangerous, his team has done something so you can join them in the safety of your home. They built this online Assetto Corsa server so you can drive, swerve, drift, whatever you want. All you need is a computer,
This is why they
internet
agreed to
connection,
this.
and it's recommended you have a steering wheel. Details to join the server are in my description.
This is why they agreed to
Do you think
this
you're
video.
wanted by law enforcement?
They definitely know about us. I mean, me specifically, I have no clue. If I am wanted, I'm sorry. I don't hate NYPD, I just don't want the ticket.
What do you go by?
Brick 250 or Brick 50, either one is fine.
And what's your specialty?
Well, right now, I think the fans would probably say my specialty is probably police chases, cop chases, and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I think drifting though.
How many police chases do you think you've been in?
Honestly, bro, I lost count probably because I posted at least 30, I think. So I think I have.
You have at least 30 police chases on the internet right now.
Man.
Yeah.
Why is this worth potentially going to prison?
No matter how you look at it, it's not worth it at all. Me.
He has documented himself running from the police 30 times and posted on the internet. The level of self-snitching, bro. The level of self-snitching is insane.
Being how I am as a person, bro, it's fun, bro.
Who are you?
I'm Reaper.
What's your specialty?
I'm more of a low-key swimmer. I'm not really making videos and stuff, but you know, if you know, you know.
Do you have any little brothers?
Oh, yeah.
If they wanted to get into this, what would you tell them?
I'm a hypocrite, but I wouldn't recommend it. But
You don't recommend it?
No.
This is a question for the whole group. How often do you guys have to change vehicles?
I say if you do it right, you could probably go a year to 2 years where you have to swap the car if you're smart. But you could do some dumb shit in one night that makes you have to swap.
What do you go by?
My name's Billy.
And what's your specialty?
Honestly, the fans kind of know me as Lester, I guess I would say. That's, if you get in trouble, you can call me. I'll help you with your situation.
So what makes this worth doing?
It's not worth doing. I wouldn't recommend doing it if I were you, but I can't make your decision for you. So if you are going to do this against our best wishes, I guess, just think about other people on the road and do whatever you can to bring it home without hurting yourself, hurting anybody else, or damaging any property.
Tell me how you think about taking on
What's
risks
up with
and
dude's
danger.
hat?
I think
Look at his
if you're
hat.
ever going to take on any risks or any danger, whether it's physical risks or financial risks, I think you should write down every single one of the variables that could be a factor in the risk that you're taking, and you should figure out what's the worst case scenario that could go wrong, any other kind of scenarios that could go wrong, and you want to figure out what the best case scenario is, and if that's worth the gamble for you, for the risks that are laid out on the table. But if those risks are worth the reward that you're going for, I think you should go for it. And if at any time you get too scared, the risks are too much for the reward, you don't want to risk it for the biscuit, then stop. Because you're not going
I mean,
for
that's
it.
good
If you
advice.
want an extraordinary life, you have to take extraordinary measures and risks and action, but know your limits.
That is honest, good advice, because I pretty much work every decision I make in life off a risk versus reward profile. But the thing is, in this situation, when you're driving 100 plus miles per hour through a city, weaving in and out of traffic, you don't have time to sit there and make a risk versus reward profile on the decision that you're about to make to cut through two cars. Like,
and know when to sit out, and
man,
this is something I'm
man.
sitting out for.
Also, the story of
JK
Icarus,
Florida says
when you have
smooth-brained
black swings and you
activity.
fly too close to the sun.
100%.
Never feel like you got it on lock 24/7.
The story of Icarus comes from Greek mythology, and it recounts the tale of Daedalus and his son Icarus, who were imprisoned on the island of Crete by King Minos. To escape, Daedalus fashioned wings made of feathers and wax for him
This
and
shit's
Icarus.
crazy,
Warned
dude.
by his father not to fly too close to the sun, Icarus disregarded this advice. As he soared higher and higher, the wax melted, causing his wings to fail, and he plummeted into the sea and drowned. This story serves as a cautionary tale warning against the dangers of overconfidence and recklessness. And this story, I think, is very relevant to Mr. Squeeze Benz.
My son Stolen couldn't make it, but he wanted to say what's up to y'all, feel me? What's going on, y'all?
Anything you gotta say for the camera, brother?
Swim team better than all of them. Shout out my son Jolly too, he couldn't make it. Yeah, so you asked us these questions. What do you think of swimming?
So here's the thing, I think danger is good in somebody's life, but when you endanger someone else while you're having your own fun, that's where I'm iffy about it.
Exactly.
I
I'm not
admire
iffy about
the
it.
courage, I admire the bravery, but
no.
when other people's lives are at risk, to me it's like it's a hard battle, you know what I mean? Like, if I lost a friend because someone was just having fun on the road, I'd want to kill that guy. I also, as a young man who does dangerous things too, get it. But I highly advise you, don't try it out.
How are these guys both stupid enough to do
These
this?
guys here to do B-roll of their cool cars. But while waiting
But
their
also-
turn, a couple of them decided to do donuts in a parking lot where there were many families. Because of this,
Also
the police were
have
called,
enough
and in
money
a few minutes, an NYPD helicopter
to be able to
arrived
buy
on the
a new
scene. This is
M4.
what happened next.
You see what I'm saying?
We got a dip in a second. You seen that, right?
Hello folks, I'm Tommy G, here with the most wanted drivers in New York. Look, they're peeling out. Folks, I wasn't lying when I said these guys are wanted. Well folks, I think it's time we get out of here. Stay safe. Realize that the choices you make can impact other people. There's dangerous things you can do that just impact yourself. When it impacts scared civilians, we should probably get out of here. Let's go. I'm conflicted with this video, folks, because a lot of young people are gonna think this is cool, and their brain is not developed enough to realize the risk to other people. And I feel like you gotta pick and choose your battles. And like, while it is exciting, statistically, eventually, someone is gonna crash, someone's gonna die,
Yeah,
someone's gonna
it's
get
gonna happen
paralyzed,
eventually.
and the game that sounded so fun is not so fun anymore.
Went from Game Boys to scales, now I play the
Man.
mail. Like some fake Matty boy that he copped off rail.
That's wild, dude. That is wild. That's crazy, man. It's not if, it's when. Eventually, that is going to turn out really, really bad for them and possibly someone else. And like I said, it's crazy that they're doing that for the whole point of them doing it is for clout, IG fame, followers, and once they actually get what they're looking to achieve, that is going to be their downfall. Their goal, the purpose of them doing this, their goal is what's going to end up causing everything to fall apart, because they're going to get so much clout, they're going to get so much attention. It's going to bring not only the type of attention they want, but the type of attention they don't want. And yeah, 7.5 million views on that video. Dude, it's going to be terrible, man. Jeffrey says, yo, my girlfriend wants me to move to Cebu. As someone from Detroit, do you think I'll survive? Jeffrey, it depends on the type of person you are. Have you traveled around Southeast Asia before? Or have you never left the US? Philippines is, and specifically Cebu, is known as a soft landing. If you stay here in IT Park or Business Park, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. I mean, it's a little rough around the edges. But so is Detroit, you know? Everyone here speaks English. Most things are pretty easy. There is a lot, in the Philippines, a lot of things don't go easy as far as bank accounts and driver's license and buying vehicles. It's a lot more difficult here, and it takes a lot more time and effort than it does in other countries in Southeast Asia. But you'll be okay. Never been to Southeast Asia before, but yeah, man. A lot of people that come to Southeast Asia for the first time, they come to the Philippines because in some ways, the Philippines is a lot easier than Thailand, and in some ways, it's way more difficult. Thailand is better set up. It has better infrastructure. It has better healthcare. It has better transport. It's just easier, generally speaking. But the difference is there's, a language barrier. I mean, if you're in Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, most Thai people speak some English, but not enough to hold like actual real conversations with like your waitress. Sometimes you order things and stuff goes wrong because of the language barrier. That's not an issue that you have here in the Philippines. So the Philippines is a very soft landing for anybody that's coming to Southeast Asia. If you're looking to move here for a girl, that's a whole nother set of problems and a whole nother discussion that needs to be had. That's that's a tough one. Moving here for a girl is a tough one. I really don't. I mean, if you watch my FAQ video that I did on the main channel like a few weeks ago, people always ask me why I don't have a girlfriend. I couldn't imagine living here and having a girlfriend. Maybe I'll meet a girl one day that will make me change my mind about that. But yeah, I mean, me personally, it would be so difficult to give up just casual dating and meeting different girls and traveling to have one dedicated girlfriend. But you could say I have commitment issues. So, clout is a dangerous addiction. 100%, bro. 100%. Yeah. Social media and people's need for attention on it will be the fall of society. Man, that's facts, dude. That is facts as well. Guys, so my stream is actually starting to buffer. I guess there's a problem with the internet here a little bit. So we are actually already an hour and 25 minutes into this live stream. It's 11:30 p.m. I should have went out a long time ago. I was supposed to meet a friend at a bar to have a few drinks. So I'm ending this live stream now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.